world title. Evander Holyfield versus Ray Mercer next on USA's Tuesday Night Fights. Pickett, the former Olympic gold medal winner, delivered one of boxing's awesome knockouts, a vicious display of finishing power against Tommy Morrison for his 18th straight win and the WBO heavyweight title, living up to his name, Merciless Ray Mercer. But right on the threshold of stardom, Mercer split with his manager, Mark Roberts, and took a merciful nosedive, outboxed by aging Larry Holmes, outpointed by journeyman Jesse Ferguson, with a subsequent messy court case eventually cleared of attempting to bribe Ferguson in the ring. Then Mercer struggled to get a draw with 7-14 Marion Wilson. The bottom was falling out, which makes Mercer appreciate where he is tonight.
Having those down fights with Jesse Ferguson and going through the things I was going through after I lost my manager, you know, to get an opportunity like this is once in a lifetime thing, and it's now or never.
It's desperation time for Mercer, and he knows it. He fell out of the title picture by falling out of shape, showing little dedication. Looking at him now, you know he means business, finally beating the Battle of the Bulge.
It was tough in the beginning, you know, because I used to go out and cheat on my own, you know, until we got this opportunity, and I realized what's at stake. So I realized I'm only cheating myself when I do that. So I got it under control. It was kind of tough.
Mercer looks to be in the best shape of his career. The tough times have made him mentally tough, disciplined, and
much stronger, powerful. I feel like there's no man on this planet heavyweight, no weight can beat me.
Tonight's fight is billed The Warrior Returns, and here is a fighting warrior. At 32, Evander Holyfield has rekindled the flame for getting back in the ring. The road leads to a shot at a record-tying third heavyweight championship. This for a gladiator who 13 months ago thought he had fought for the final time. Holyfield was told by doctors he should never fight again. It goes back to his last fight, April of '94, the grueling 12 rounds against Michael Moore, when Holyfield lost his heavyweight title, a fight in which the Warrior looked exhausted. After the fight, tests revealed Holyfield suffered from a condition known as a stiff heart, a non-compliant left ventricle, which prevents sufficient oxygen from being pumped to the muscles and tissues. The ex-champion was now an ex-fighter. But 2 months later, Holyfield claimed he was healed at the hands of a faith healer who would advise Evander to get a second opinion, a medical opinion, before he fought again.
When I went to Mayo Clinic, you know, they agreed that wasn't any problem. They examined it from the toe to the head, you know, and blood work and all that. They couldn't find any problem.
For tonight's comeback, the New Jersey physical posed no problem.
We got the complete report from Mayo Clinic, which covered every test and study that they did. They give him a clearance to fight again. In New Jersey, we accepted that report and gave approval for him to fight here.
I'm healed and I have to fight where that I can give God the glory. It just wouldn't make any sense for me to be healed and not to perform. But that performing what people know me from. People don't know me from nothing else but boxing. So by me going in the ring and doing what I do best, this is where that the Lord will get the glory.
Holyfield feels the power of faith led to each step back to the ring. But he also understands the real heart of the matter. Following the Moore fight, an exhausted Holyfield received large dosages of fluids for dehydration, along with morphine for an injured shoulder. The combination affected his heart rate, which in time returned to normal. So it might not have been a matter of being cured, just a matter of never having a career-threatening condition in the first place. Let's check out the fighters on the turtle wax tail of the tape. Evander Holyfield, a vacuum-tight 209 3/4 pounds, and Ray Mercer, impressive 224 pounds. He was 246 in his last fight, and he started training in January at 260. in Atlantic City under the jurisdiction of the New Jersey.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Convention Hall here on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, New Jersey, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trimmed in gold. He weighed in at 224 pounds. He's a native of Augusta, Georgia, who now lives in Newark, New Jersey, and fights out of the Mark Roberts House of Pain. In 1988, as a U.S. Army sergeant, he captured Olympic gold. And as a professional, he now has a record of 23-2 with 1 draw, and 16 of those 23 victories are by KO. And he's captured a world title. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the former WBO World Heavyweight Champion, Merciless Ray Mercer. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white trimmed with black, weighing 209 3/4 pounds. This 1984 Olympic bronze medalist has a professional record of 30 victories, 22 by KO, against only 2 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, from Atlanta, Georgia, presenting the return of the 3-time world champion and former 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, Evander Real Deal Holyfield.
Gentlemen, you received the rules from the commission. To avoid any controversy, I remind you now, if you score a knockdown, be careful with your follow-up punches. Do not hit a man on the deck. If either fighter is in trouble and you do not want me to stop the bout, you must show me clearly that you can and want to continue. In these trunks, below here is low. Below here, on these trunks are low. No matter what happens out here, obey my commands. Let's keep it strictly professional. Good luck to you both.
With the likes of names like Oliver McCall and Bruce Seldon as heavyweight champions, Evander Holyfield really hearing it from the crowd. He is the hero. He is now like the throwback, the former champ who is back in the ring. And he says he doesn't need the money, the fame. Winning the 3rd title won't make him bigger in the sport. He is here to preach that I'm healed. My performance will tell people they can be healed too. They just need to believe. And what do you expect in the early going with Holyfield and Mercer?
Well, he is a fighter, Holyfield is, and I expect him to fight. He says he's going to move more. Once they get into the heat of battle, I expect him to stand still and punch more. See the movement already early in this fight, but he's moving and mixing that in with his combinations. What Ray Mercer must do is Ray Mercer must settle down and try to catch Evander coming in. Ray Mercer must be elusive on his feet. He's got to be able to spin along with Holyfield.
And you take a look at Ray Mercer, 224 pounds. You say, this is what was under there all the time.
That's right.
You know, the spare tire is gone. You can see the abdominal muscles. The last time Ray Mercer stepped in this ring 3 years ago in the convention center, he was a 4-1 favorite against Larry Holmes. He steps in the ring tonight, and he's something like a 4-1 underdog against Evander Holyfield.
And he likes it that way. He would much rather be an underdog. He says his weight is down because the chef in training camp makes the chicken taste like wood. Well, tonight he's going to try to give Evander Holyfield a leather sandwich.
These two fighters coming back and choosing warring factions as opponents. You talk about Holyfield as a warrior. Ray Mercer, who again admits I was in a 3-year slump for whatever reasons. It has led him to where he is tonight. But here is a guy who has a rock-solid chin, has fought many fights with injuries and gotten by, has pulled out victories. When he won the WBO championship against Francisco Damiani, he was behind on all cards, and then a one-punch knockout in the ninth. He has that kind of power. And Evander Holyfield, when you also talk about solid chins, one of the best in the heavyweight division.
Yeah, I think Mercer may have the best power of the two, but Holyfield is the more skillful of a boxer than the two. Mercer said he likes to rumble, and this is the kind of fight that he wants throughout 12 rounds. Says a lot of people respect Holyfield, as I do. Most people think that Evander Holyfield is the real champion. So if I can beat Holyfield, I will be considered the real champion, Ray Mercer.
And Ray Mercer trying to rumble, trying to hit Holyfield, because he feels once Holyfield is hit, it's his nature to then start slugging it out. Holyfield said his loss to Riddick Bowe that he felt that he just got caught up in trying to knock out Riddick Bowe. So we'll see how Holyfield could perhaps withstand that test from Mercer tonight. It's packed at the Convention Center in Atlantic City, New Jersey, for this 10-round heavyweight fight. Former champion Evander Holyfield in the white. Ray Mercer, who won the WBO crown, in the black trunks.
Who needs to turn the tempo around in this fight. That first round I thought was Holyfield. Holyfield came out very strong in the opening round with not only some good combinations, but some good movement too. Holyfield very skilled, boxing more, working the angles more. Mercer with a good combination. Holyfield's hurt.
Mercer tags Holyfield, although Holyfield trying to get away may have just been knocked off balance, trying to keep control. Holyfield said in the time that he has had off, the 13 months, not only did he rest, rejuvenate, healed his body from all the wars he has had, but he also was able to rethink his approach. He was wondering, what have I been getting away from? And he said he wanted to get back to throwing a lot of punches, combinations, using the hand speed, in and out, darting. Do what he did when he worked his way to the Cruiserweight Championship. He says once he won the heavyweight title, he started to stand in there, went toe-to-toe, slugging it out, standing in, making fights a little easier for his opponents. Every fight he's been in has basically been a war.
Oh yeah, Rumble. Last 7 fights have been very tough. Has that helped him or hurt him? How much has that taken out of Evander Holyfield? Ray Mercer, he hasn't had as many tough brawls as Holyfield. But Holyfield says it's not the size of the heavyweight man that matters, it's the size of his heart. And we know we've seen the size of Evander Holyfield's heart. He'll get in there and rumble with the best of them.
Not an ironic quote from Evander Holyfield, but he has an excellent chin. He's always in great condition, looking to out-hustle and overwhelm his opponent. So he would go in looking to out-slug his opponent and try to wear him down. But remember, Evander Holyfield tonight, 109 pounds, the heaviest he's ever weighed is 217. Has for the most part gone in against guys who are, maybe 10, 20 pounds heavier than he is.
And beaten him.
The exchange by Holyfield, quick. He knows that Mercer is not the skilled boxer, and even if Mercer returns to his form, that Mercer is looking for that right hand, the big punch. Holyfield says that even if Mercer is at his best, I don't think he could beat me. And Mercer's doing what he could do to be at his best here tonight. The former Army sergeant trying to be the best he could be.
So with his quick, sharp combinations landing, Ray Mercer fighting back, both of them still brawling on the inside. This is the kind of fight that Ray Mercer wanted. The left hook, kind of a jumping left hand, buckles the knees of Holyfield, although a little bit off balance.
Here's two fighters who are, in this world of professional boxing heavyweight division, are unranked. And this is probably a better matchup than most of the world championship fights of late. Ray Mercer, who said the Tommy Morrison fight, you saw pictures of that brutal conclusion. That was several years ago. So that's the fight that changed everything for him. You would think that that'd be the best thing to happen to Ray Mercer, but he thought that he could knock out everyone like that and felt that if it was going to be that easy, why have to work so hard in the gym? And that was the start of the downfall to Mercer, and that's what he got back. He also lost his manager, Mark Roberts. At the time he split, he is now back with Roberts, who has brought in a nutritionist to prepare special meals for Mercer, and they've done a terrific job. He hired trainer Tommy Parks, changed Mercer's mental attitude, plus Mercer knows this is the fight of his life.
And Mercer says, I've never lost a fight with Mark Roberts, his original manager, who he's back with now, and that Roberts team.
18-0 under Mark Roberts, 5-2-1 since, but losses to Larry Holmes, to Jesse Ferguson, a awful-looking draw to Marion Wilson, just completely out of the fight game. Mercer.
Sharp punches, fast hook from Holyfield. The punches from Mercer are a little bit slower, but heavier-handed, Ray Mercer.
Ron Lipton waves that off.
Yeah, little push on the back from Holyfield. You know, Mercer is trying to get rough in there. He's trying to rough up Holyfield, to make Holyfield mad, to make Evander sit still and punch with him. Good right hand right over the chest from Mercer. Holyfield comes back.
Holyfield returns, doubling up on the left.
Oh, yeah, this is it. Heating up by the third round.
And they stand right in front of one another. This is what Mercer wants to do to Holyfield, draw him into a slugfest. Mercer has never been down in his career. Holyfield has been down twice, Bert Cooper and Riddick Bowe.
And they told Ray Mercer between rounds, they said, make him do what you want him to do. Impose your will on him, make him fight with you. That's what Ray Mercer's doing.
Make him react to your game.
Absolutely.
You don't react to his.
Mercer controlling the motions of Evander Holyfield. Still early in this fight. Now Holyfield thought what he needed to do, and he's trying to box.
The white Muhammad Kwawi in 1886. My first 15-round fight, and a Strusen fight. And, you know, my second, when I won, when I won the heavyweight championship from Buster Douglas. Third is the defeat against Riddick Bowe, the first fight. Second fight was more of an ego thing that, you know, I wanted to get it back, and I got it back. But I guess, you know, I remember that the first one vividly, because he's the first guy that I ever fought that hit me as many times as he hit me, and it made me think about the game of boxing. Do I really want to be in this? And it took a lot of prayers to get through that fight.
Holyfield, you gotta stay with the jab. Soon as you finish, spin. Soon as you finish, spin. Half steps. Understand?
And this one is just warming up.
Oh, yeah. Busy first 3 rounds. Evander Holyfield came out very fast and very strong in that first. The second round was back and forth. What a battle. In the third round, I thought Mercer was connecting. Holyfield comes out with new intent.
And Mercer rumbling back. And Mercer and his team predicting that once they start exchanging, Holyfield will slug. And slugging away they are here in round number 4.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy Parks, the trainer of Mercer, said that Holyfield will try to box early, but he's very brave. Eventually he'll stand in there and go toe-to-toe. That's his nature. He just can't fight it. And they have drawn Holyfield in.
That's right. They knew he was a good slugger. They said he's tough, strong, and has many different styles. But the style that we want him to have is toe-to-toe.
And Holyfield, if you watch him very closely, seems to be puffing out of his mouth now. Breathing a little heavier here in the 4th.
Oh, straight right-handed and uppercut. Ray Mercer. Holyfield lunging now. Got to be careful when you do that. When you lunge on the inside, Mercer's going to make you pay for it.
Keep in mind, Holyfield off for 13 months. We saw him after he lost to Riddick Bowe. He came back against Alex Stewart, 7 months out, and looked extremely rusty in that fight. Now, this pace is a brisk one in 4 rounds, and Holyfield may be very fortunate that this is only a scheduled 10-rounder. It's not a championship fight, but he may start to feel it in the later rounds. Although Mercer also has not fought in 9 months. So Ray Mercer trying to embark back into the heavyweight picture.
Yeah. 2 fighters with a lot of respect for one another and a lot of heart. Ray Mercer said he's cleaning his style up more now, moving his head more on the inside. He gets hit less while he's in there, and he throws more body punches. There is a good stray right hand. Mercer has power in that right.
Mercer says he gets hit less, but that's just a relative term.
Yeah, but
both of these fighters get hit.
He has his hands up around his head after he punches. A new and improved Ray Mercer.
And 2 fighters taking one another on. What you're asking for more of in the boxing world.
In the trenches. It's a good fight.
All the atmosphere of a world heavyweight championship. Evander Holyfield knows the taste of that, having worn the crown on 2 different occasions. Ray Mercer, who wore the WBO belt, and he gave it up because he would not fight Michael Moore. Instead wanted a big money payday, $1 million for fighting Holmes. He figured he'd catch up with Moore down the road. But he never get by Holmes, and the downfall started there for Mercer, losing interest in fighting, putting on extra weight, certainly not looking like he does here tonight in the last 3 years. Oh, solid right hand by Evander Holyfield.
And Evander Holyfield caught up with Michael Moore, his last fight. That's who took his title.
Ray Mercer has lost out on a couple of opportunities for world title shots outside of the WBO. His loss to Holmes, and he lost a bit to fight then world champion Evander Holyfield, which Holmes then went into. And then when he lost to Jesse Ferguson, that was supposed to be a tune-up with a fight against Riddick Bowe. And Ferguson got that one.
Yeah, for the last couple of years, Ray Mercer has been on the down spiral. He's been depressed about his career and not motivated. When he got back to his original trainers and managers, it re-motivated him, and this is a statement he's trying to make here tonight, and he is.
Well, he says he wants to pick up now where he left off on that Morrison fight, where he was his 18th straight win. Very impressive knockout, as impressive as you have seen. And he that night won that WBO crown.
Good right hand.
Holyfield.
This is basic boxing. Holyfield goes back to what he learned in the amateurs. The straight 1-2. When nothing else will work, the jab will work, and you follow it with the right hand.
Again, Holyfield breathing hard. His mouth is open. You could perhaps detect the puffing of the cheeks as he breathes out of his mouth. We're in round 5. This is a scheduled 10-rounder.
Holyfield was 160-14 as an amateur. Won the bronze medalist, of course. 84 Olympics.
Mercer says that if Holyfield gets hurt, it's not going to be because of his heart. It's going to be because of his chin, as he delicately put it.
It's going to be because of the punches from Ray Mercer. Mercer has got the power in that right hand, but he's stopped using it. Where is that right hand?
It's a packed house at the Convention Center in Atlantic City, and through 5 rounds, worth the price of admission. 2 former champions trying to make a statement. They look atop the heavyweight division and feel a victory here tonight puts them right in the title chase. Evander Holyfield in the white trunks, Ray Mercer in the black trunks. Mercer said he had a dream 2 weeks ago that he broke Holyfield's jaw, that Holyfield went down and then the bell rang. Now, Mercer has had one other dream before a fight. He dreamed he was going to lose to Larry Holmes, so he's a very objective dreamer, and that's the dream he had going into this fight against Holyfield. First minute of round number 6. And this has been all it's been advertised. Both fighters in front of one another, flailing away, getting in their shots, both hitting, both being hit.
Yeah, back and forth. However, I think the last couple of rounds, Mercer has allowed for Holyfield to get in and score and move. They told him between rounds, they said, Ray, if he's in front of you, you got to either feint him out of position or hit him. You got to let go. You got to throw. You cannot pose on a fighter like Evander Holyfield. He's too good. He's too quick. Sharp punches. There's a good right hand. Testing right hand from Mercer. Mercer has to get that jab working.
Holyfield started sparring 3 months ago after he was cleared by the Mayo Clinic. He said it's kind of difficult. When you take time off, you think you could come back at the same level, but you can't. And started to wonder if it was worth it, taking those shots in the face every day. And here's a fighter whose style predicated on conditioning and overwhelming, out-hustling his opponents. Ray Mercer has been off for 9 months, got himself in tip-top shape, but he too now seems to be breathing hard out of the mouth.
Well, they should be. They both should be. Oh, big right hand.
They have both spent incredible energy in the first 5 rounds. Mercer takes a run on Holyfield.
And I think it's time for Ray Mercer to have an explosion. You send these testing shots out, the probing punches, like Mercer is doing. Oh, runs right into a right hand, and then you explode. Try to catch your opponent with your combination. You're not going to put Holyfield down with one punch. He's too good of a fighter.
Mercer has put fighters down with one punch.
Now Mercer moving.
Something that he is not used to in his fight game, but runs into Holyfield with the left. Inside 10 seconds to go in the 6th round in a fight that is moving along very quickly.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Evander Holyfield slow coming out the corner. Work done there. Appears to be a cut the side of his right eye, and I think the indication is from a punch of Mercer. The corner of Holyfield calling out to referee Ronald Lipton, saying that it was a butt. It was a butt, but I think it did come from a punch, and that is the ruling from the official.
That's what Lipton said too. No, I didn't see it that way. I saw it as a punch. Cut around the right eye, and it is dripping. Still early in the round, only 30 seconds gone, and this the 7th round in what is a battle. More movement now from Holyfield.
And Mercer ties up.
Mercer wakes up. Between rounds, he really hurt it. Even his manager, Mark Roberts, who does not work the corner, ran into his corner to tell him, come on, get with it.
Mark Roberts, who brought Tommy Parks into the corner of Mercer, and there is Tommy Parks studying the scene. He knew Evander Holyfield could probably be suckered into a slugfest, and he was right.
Yep, and he wants more punches, and he gets it right there from Ray Mercer. They are spurring their man on. More shots from him.
They feel a window of opportunity. Holyfield bleeding around the right eye.
The blood coming down and hit right on that eye.
Not as many punches by Holyfield in this round.
And more movement from Mercer. Really a draining fight.
They must feel as if they've gone 12 rounds already.
Oh, absolutely, and they're both arm weary. That's why they've slowed down.
Both coming off the layoffs.
Yeah, the long layoff. They're stale.
Both felt they may be able to take one another out in 5.
Watch your head, says Ron Lipton. Oh, again, the right hand. There is power in the right hand of Ray Mercer.
The Mercer corner wants him to come forward. They think this is the time for Mercer to go in and slug.
And I think they're right. When you see blood on your opponent, that means he is hurt. That means you jump on him. Try to hit that cut, aim for it. Ray Mercer's not really doing that. You also try to spin your fists right on the end to try to rip that cut open.
And Holyfield trying to take the rest here in the 7th, not to face any more damage, get back into the corner, and they could work on the cut. But Holyfield needs the second win.
All right, baby. Holy, when you step to him, you got to step to him in 5 sets. Follow me? Just like in the gym, just like we working on the minutes, okay?
Take a deep breath and exhale hard. Water, water, water.
Mouthpiece, mouthpiece.
Evander Holyfield looking every part of the exhausted Evander Holyfield in the Michael Moorer fight as he comes out now for round number 8.
Yeah, showing a lot of signs of fatigue. Between rounds, his corner, Tommy Brooks, telling him this man is ready to go. Get on him. Ray Mercer is resting. But Holyfield looks like he is as tired, if not more tired, it's Ray Mercer.
We could hear into the Holyfield corner between the last round. It's probably the same thing that Tommy Parks was telling Mercer.
It could have been the same exact thing. They both fight so similarly.
Ray Mercer, who did not start boxing until he was 22, that as an amateur, as an Army sergeant stationed in Germany, did not turn pro until just a couple of weeks prior to his 28th birthday. He's an Olympic gold medal winner at 27.
But look at this. Look what he's trying to do here. He's trying to get Holyfield to chase him, to run after him. Look how he is moving now. Holyfield closing the gap, coming in, and Mercer saying, come on inside. I got something for you. I got this right hand for you. Come on in.
He's thrown more punches in any one round than he did the whole fight against Larry Holmes, Mercer.
That's right.
Mercer says no, but that invigorates Holyfield.
Oh, yeah, both of them.
Mercer comes back. Both cutting the right hand.
Oh, a lot of blood coming from that cut over the right eye of Holyfield.
Ron Lipton, the referee, taking a close look, but Holyfield still moving forward, staying in front, willing to trade. Vintage Evander Holyfield. He said, I'm not going to stand in front anymore, make it easier for my opponent. And here he is standing in front. And Ron Lipton wants to take Evander Holyfield over to the doctor. Crowd not excited about this. Dr. Frank B. Doggett is in the ring.
That cut over the right eye. Doggett says, let it go a little bit longer. That is in a bad position. That blood can drip down in the eye and blind a fighter. Just from the blood dripping in there, it hampers your vision. And that blood's coming down. You can see it streaming down the right side of Holyfield's face.
Teeing off now is Ray Mercer. This is turning out to be the war at the shore.
Ray Mercer got more confident, but look at the variation in style of Mercer. He is supposed to be the brawler. It was Holyfield who came into this fight saying that he was going to box more.
The 1-2 by Holyfield, and the left by Holyfield, and another left. Watch Mercer, who goes down to the knee and is hit after he went down. The crowd going wild out of nowhere. In the 8th, Holyfield puts Mercer down. The crowd whipped into a frenzy. Mercer says no. He just went down to a knee.
He was on his way down when Holyfield hit him. Once with a left hook, it looked like that could put him down. But then when he was on the canvas, he got it again.
The first time that Mercer has ever been down in his career. Looks like he was just trying to avoid another shot and took a strategic knockdown.
Here it is. Mercer looks like for a moment he's going to go down and take a count right here. He ducks down. When he goes down to take the count, he gets hit by Holyfield on the canvas.
Was there a punch that...
There was the left hook.
There it is. Now
Mercer
holding on. That's where he was
stunned.
hurt.
He goes down here to take the count. And when he does, Holyfield lets him have it. Again.
It looked like he went down to avoid what was going to be a roundhouse left.
And that's exactly what he did. He got the first left hook there, and down again to try to revive, gather himself.
Both fighters touch gloves, even though this is not the last round. Or who knows, maybe it is.
It could be, with that left hook of Holyfield, and he comes out throwing it.
Is invigorated by the conclusion of that last round. Just as the doctor had come in to inspect the cut of Holyfield, Holyfield picked it up. Now Mercer stands in front. And this is a 10-round non-title fight. A throwback encounter of two warring heavyweights.
What a big fight. That knockdown in the last round. This is extremely close. In a close fight like this, that knockdown may be the difference.
Mercer comes in with the punching power, and you know Holyfield comes in with the staying power. Reminiscent to round 10 of Riddick Bowe, Evander Holyfield. Holyfield completely turns the tide in the 8th. Looked like he was on his way out. And then the barrage getting Ray Mercer in trouble, although Mercer shook it off, said no. Now you start to see around the right eye of Mercer, that is swelling, maybe closing.
That revived Holyfield when Mercer went down. However, Mercer may have an opportunity now. Holyfield continues.
And the crowd responding to a gallant former champion.
Mercer is ready to go. Holyfield will pour it on now.
Well, remember Mercer's fight plan throughout his career is to wear his opponent down, then beat him up. Catching everything is interesting strategy. Takes punishment until the opponent gets tired, punching him and wears him down, finally leaving an opening for Mercer. But this is Evander Holyfield, a fighter that is very difficult to wear down. But Mercer has been in the situation before, getting behind and pulling it out with one punch. He was behind on all cards through 3 rounds against Tommy Morrison. He's behind through 9 rounds against Francisco Damiani and knocked him out. Down to 10 seconds in the 9th.
The one-punch power is in the right hand of Mercer, but he can't go out there looking for it. Ray Mercer cannot force the power. He's got one more round to unleash it.
9 rounds down, 3 minutes to go.
Go get him that 500. That's so you're a champ. You're gonna win this now. Everything you got. Go.
Ray, you gotta kill him. Ray don't ever stop punching. Everything perfect.
Keep it up.
Push him off and punch again.
Laying on you.
Right hand, left hand.
We need this round, big.
You're doing everything right. Keep it up.
Excuse me, son. When you throw the right hand, come back with the hook.
Okay.
Don't lay on when you throw the right hand. Swallow it.
Ray Mercer has heard it from Tommy Parks and just about everybody in his corner. It's now or never. You gotta be first. The gallant warrior, Evander Holyfield. The cut stopped just for the moment. It's one punch away from being opened up again. 8th round, Holyfield had the doctor step in the ring to inspect the cut. Perhaps close to stopping the fight. And Holyfield comes back later in the 8th to become the first man to ever put Ray Mercer on the canvas in this Mercer's 27th professional fight.
What a battle. The first round was Holyfield. The second round, Mercer came back a little bit until the 4th round. Holyfield turned it around. The 6th, Holyfield was cut over the right eye. And then the 8th round, Evander Holyfield really turned up the heat and continued it in the 9th. I have it a very close match. What a war.
Oh, upstairs. Rattling back and forth, the left and the right by Mercer.
They told Mercer between rounds, you got to do it. You got to go out there this round and let your punches fly. You have to connect.
Holyfield has been down at the hands of Bert Cooper, although he says that's a questionable knockdown. And Riddick Bowe, the last time that Holyfield was down was last June. That was at the hands of Benny Hinn, the Philadelphia faith healer. Halfway through the final round. Both fighters who have worked so hard to get back in a position to brawl for 10 here tonight.
Both of them have been 10 number of times. Holyfield 10 or more, 9 different occasions. Mercer 7 times, 10 or more.
And the way this fight has gone, and if it goes to the scorecards, there will be a winner, but there won't be a loser. I think each of these fighters would feel very confident if they could get a shot against Oliver McCall or Bruce Seldon or George Foreman.
Absolutely, and both of them really have made a statement in this fight.
Oh, there's the takedown.
They do both go down. Both of them to the canvas.
Ray Mercer off balance, falling into Holyfield, who was also falling off balance and now has his trunks falling down. And that may be the only way you get Holyfield down on the canvas tonight. Oh, there's that right hand from Mercer. There's the time remaining in the 10th and the final round.
And both of them looking for that final bell. Blood streaming down from Holyfield. What a warrior. Heart, desire, strength, determination. But
Holyfield still coiling out of that compact stance. Final seconds. They'll slug it out to the final bell. 10 rounds, 30 minutes, toe-to-toe. And now it goes to the cards. When we return, the decision, Evander Holyfield and Ray Mercer battling it out for 10 full rounds.
We go to the scorecards. Gene Williams scores the bout 95-94. Eva Shane has it 97-92. And Eugene Grant scores it 96-93 for the winner by unanimous decision. The Warrior has returned. The winner, Evander Holyfield.
And he comes back and demonstrates all his heart. Evander Holyfield slugging it out. One judge had it 1 point apart, and the others 5 point, and a 3-round victory for Evander Holyfield, who survives the cut, knocks down Ray Mercer for the first time in Mercer's career, and you know Mercer cannot agree with that decision. Evander Holyfield, the winner tonight over Ray Mercer, unanimous decision. First man to put Ray Mercer down on the canvas in the career of Mercer. And now it's time to take a look at the Power Punch, brought to you by Budweiser. Fresh, pure, natural, proud to be your Bud. And champ, this was the knockdown in the 8th. After the doctor had examined the eye of Evander Holyfield in that 8th round, the fans here thinking the fight might be stopped, and it seemed to rejuvenate Holyfield, closing in on Mercer. There was the big left, Mercer going down, and then to avoid another shot by Holyfield, ducking and going to one knee, getting a big punch after it, and that series constitutes the Power Punch of the night.
And they succeeded on both counts. For Evander Holyfield and Ray Mercer, it was a win-win night. In defeat, Mercer won the praise of a courageous warrior, turning the clock back to that promising Olympic gold medal winner and thrusting himself back into heavyweight title contention. Evander Holyfield put his heart through a grueling stress test and passed in gallant fashion. His stature soars. He's back in the hunt. Later that night, in the post-fight press conference, he only wondered when the boxing organizations would recognize that.
I guess up into the ranking system, guy I ain't fought in 4 years. He ranked #1 now, and I ain't fought in a year, but I did fight a fight, and hopefully that I can get somewhere in the top 10.
Slow start for Lewis. Lewis pawing with the jab.